Welcome to your Daily Writing Habit, episode number 201. If you are writing a book or thinking about it, or maybe you've started writing your book and you need some help finishing it, or perhaps you're trying to reach more readers to let them know about your book, you are in the right place. I'm your host, Christine Whitmarsh. If you're looking for me online, look up Christine Inc., I-N-K. Each day I'm sharing with you the writing habits I've learned over my 18 years as a ghostwriter, book coach, and author. I have found that 3 things in particular have a huge impact on your success as an author, and they can turn someone who doesn't really see themselves that way as an author into one. Those 3 things are writing fundamentals, productivity, and mindset habits. Here's today's quote. I don't want to be at the mercy of my emotions. I want to use them, to enjoy them, and to dominate them. Oscar Wilde. Well, let's talk writing fundamentals today, specifically, as Mr. Wilde just mentioned, emotions. How do you evoke specific emotions in your readers? As always, here on Your Daily Writing Habit, I am talking to fiction and nonfiction writers, because emotions help readers connect with your words and therefore your stories, your content, and you as the author. That's the important part, because that's what makes them keep reading. And at the end of your book, the emotional connection with you and your book is what makes your readers tell their friends on social media, for example, where a lot of people, as you're probably seeing every day, are sharing book recommendations and opinions a whole lot. So forge that emotional connection to increase the probability that people will be talking about your book to their friends. So the thing about writing emotions is if you try to force it, your readers they'll smell it, honestly. They'll be aware of it. So the key in fiction writing, and we'll do nonfiction in a moment, the key in fiction writing is to know your characters well enough so you can feel what they're feeling, especially in universal situations where your readers are likely to be feeling the same thing or similar emotions, or, depending on the book, the opposite of the emotions that the character is feeling, but they'll be feeling something. In nonfiction, writing emotions means being able to put yourself in your reader's shoes. There's that all-important word, empathy. For those of you writing your memoir, connecting emotionally means being able to go back in time to those situations from your life that you're writing about and relive what you felt at the time through your words so your readers can relive those events with you. Now, the key for both fiction and nonfiction writing is being able to put yourself as the author into the scene, into the story, in a multi-sensory way, to see it, hear it, feel it, and when applicable, taste and smell it. Use your imagination and senses to connect with the emotions of your story. Now let's look at the specifics of bringing out various emotions and even kind of like different genres of writing in your story. So I want to start with comedy. Comedy is a favorite thing for me. I've done comedy acting, comedy writing. Really, really enjoy making people laugh, even just on a daily basis on Facebook. I really like making people laugh. So the key with comedy, and this is actually something I've studied, the key with comedy is that nobody in a comedic situation finds their situation funny at all. No, they are urgently trying to do this thing, and they can't understand, and they're so frustrated by all the coincidences and accidents and obstacles, and they can't understand why these things keep happening to them, and it's very frustrating. And that's what is hilarious, the rest of us watching it. So they try harder and harder to do the thing, so it gets even more hilarious. Think about Lucy and Ethel and the conveyor belt with all the chocolates. That's a perfect example of comedy, trying so hard to do something hilarious to everybody else, not hilarious when you're in the situation. So see how you can set up scenes like that, where someone's trying to do something and it just gets funnier and funnier and funnier when they can't do it. For evoking any spontaneous emotion, comedy or otherwise, I like to rely on a scene construct that I learned when I studied acting at a studio out in Los Angeles that taught the Sanford Meisner technique. The basic setup here is that one person, so picture one person in a room who's concentrating heavily on this time-sensitive, important, maybe even like life-altering task, when suddenly they're interrupted by another person who comes in the room. Now this person is equally absorbed in their own time-sensitive, important, life-altering task. So it's really kind of a car crash of emotions, think of it that way. So by then simply reacting off of what the other one is doing, the sparks and the emotions fly. And believe me, I'm recalling my acting school days. Depending on how the scene goes, all sorts of emotions. You get the anger and the comedy and drama and touching moments. And it just depends on really, the characters that you're playing, or, the scenarios that you've put together. Whatever you find to be true of the scene, those truths come out like fireworks when there's that collision of urgent activities and the emotions start to fly. So that is a great one. And think about, how can you play with the scene construct in your own writing? Perhaps just to get to know your characters better and see what happens when their backs are pressed up against the wall. Finally, a quick tip on writing scary, especially since Halloween is coming up this week. To build suspense, zoom in on the tiniest, seemingly most unimportant details and linger there. Build paranoia in the reader as you do. Because okay, hold on, wait. What is that? Sorry. Oh my God. Just kidding. So there's my attempt at a spontaneous horror moment here in your daily writing habit. So happy Halloween. I hope these tips help you add emotion and excitement to your writing. And be sure and tune in tomorrow for tomorrow's episode of Your Daily Writing Habit. On looking at the calendar here, Wednesday, October 30th, that will be episode number 202. I'm interviewing a special guest, Scott H. Young. He made headlines for mastering the entire 4-year computer science curriculum from MIT without ever attending a single class in 1 year. So he's going to tell us about his book, Ultra Learning, and how you can learn really hard things in short periods of time as well. And specifically, we had a great conversation, and we talked about, things that you can do to jumpstart your writing career from that ultra learning perspective, and how you can really position yourself as an expert in your life, an expert in your life stories and lessons and the things you've learned, and how really to position yourself as an expert to your readers. So definitely tune in tomorrow for that episode. Again, that is Wednesday, October 30th, episode 202. Fantastic interview with Scott Young. Thank you for joining me here on Your Daily Writing Habit, where I'm helping you write and finish writing an awesome book. And if you have any questions about all the different ways that I help people do that, feel free to visit my website, Christine-Inc, I-N-K, Christine-Inc.com. And if you know someone else who wants to write a book, tell them the same thing. Thank you very much. And until tomorrow, happy writing.